Good morning, this is Dr. Farley. Just notice my flag is upside down. Got to straighten out the flag. Okay, so today I want to be going over with you a concept called autosuggestion. Back in 1895, D.D. Palmer came up with the idea of stressors creating imbalances in the nervous system, which then creates disease, which then creates disease. And you have to have 85% damage to the cells for you finally to get a symptom. Well, when we go back to the stressors, we have the four different types. We have physical, chemical, mental, emotional, and then this thing called autosuggestion. Autosuggestion really means this is all of the different information and stressors that have been downloaded into someone's nervous system, and they're in the subconscious, running the subconscious. So a lot of this information is downloaded from 0 to 7, comes from mother and father, maybe grandparents, family members, religion. Those are big ones. And any other events that are significant or consistent on a regular basis. So that stress response, autosuggestion, is the most damaging because it's subconscious. The person's not aware of it. So, for instance, if I grew up in a country where there was a communist rule, I might find that I have all of that information downloaded into my system. And then when we come along and do your testing, your Super 7 Plus testing, we find, wow, there's massive documentation that we have an abnormal allostatic stress load. But the person may say, I don't have any stresses. I don't have any stresses. Everything is good. We're not talking about current stress. We're talking about the stressors that are downloaded into that nervous system, and over a time frame, it's creating dysautonomia and also hypothalamus pituitary adrenal axis imbalances, which creates an abnormal allostatic stress load and creates chronic subluxation patterns. So over a time frame, the treatments that we give you here in the office work directly on these subconscious loops and wiring and patterns that have been, in a sense, burned into your nervous system. And it may take some time for those to free up. And then on a day-to-day basis, from a mental, emotional stress point of view, we have to be doing what I call, or not doing what I call, stinking thinking. It means keeping your brain focused on what you want, where you're going, and moving forward. To ruminate on ideas over and over again on a day-to-day basis, you're never getting better. To talk about how you have a bad knee, the knee is never getting better. To talk about your problems over and over again, you're never getting better. So we've got the day-to-day stinking thinking that we have to be addressing and shifting and paying attention to what we're saying out loud. What are we repeating to people? And what are we saying about ourselves and our health? And then the other part is this autosuggestion. So for many people, the autosuggestion, again, these are subconscious. And I want to explain this also. So you will not notice a symptom until it hits conscious perception. And there's trillions and billions of information going back and forth from the brain to the body. So only about 50 bits of information reaches conscious perception in the brain. 50 bits of information per second reaches conscious perception in the brain. But there's actually about 3 trillion bits of information traveling in the subconscious that also reaches the brain, but you're not aware of it. That is where health and that is where the magic of healing takes place. If we do not open the trap door from conscious to subconscious and tap into the subconscious, and that's what runs everything. That's your heart, your liver, your digestion, your immune system, your blood pressure regulation, your liver, your kidneys. That's what all this stuff is running from. So your subconscious nervous system is what's running all of that. And we must tap into that. The care that we do here does tap into that. And over time, we can help rewire the nervous system. And we also can teach you about stinking thinking, which is paying attention to your current thoughts. Are they correct? Are they not correct? Are they creating more stress or not creating more stress? Also be looking out for people in your life that are creating stress and make some space. So this is a big one, and many times, one more thing I want to go over also is this. There's the placebo effect and the nocebo effect. The placebo effect basically means that we've tapped into the person's innate healing recuperative power, and the power that made the body can heal the body, and the only thing that's ever going to cure anything is the person's own innate intelligence. Okay, so we must understand that that exists in the subconscious. So if we can line up the conscious and the subconscious, remove these blocks, we can allow the system to function at a much higher level. We also must look at chemical stress from drugs and medication, foods, environmental factors, pathogen load. Again, there's many other factors involved in this picture here, but we're specifically talking about autosuggestion, and then understanding how these chronic loops can get burned into your system. By the way, the more that stressor comes, let's just assume it's a big stressor where someone was killed in front of you. Well, that will impact the nervous system and be embedded and burned into someone's subconscious. What if it's, though, a regular thing, like I grew up with an alcoholic father, or I grew up with a drug addict mother, or I grew up under communist control? All of these things will get hardwired into the system, and they will run that stress response more and more and more. And then we wonder why down the road we see continual breakdown. Shortly after this, I'm going to be going after explaining to you what's the research and the increase in disease and mortality when we have an exacerbated allostatic stress load from what we're talking about with these stressors. And specifically what we're talking about is the autosuggestion. It's massive. The entire system is being overworked. There's an exhaustive amount of energy being wasted, and that needs to be addressed. So I think we're going to end there. If you have any questions, you'll let us know. As always, God bless you, God bless your family, and God bless the United States. Thank you, and have a great day.